Welcome to the Lake Life Home Improvement Series, where we share home improvement projects and how they're adding value to properties. I'm here with Chris Meeken from the Black Tie Group, and we're at one of his clients' properties where they're doing a basement remodel. So what do you have going on here?
So basically what we have here is an unfinished basement in a relatively new built home. Client wanted to expand the space for guests when they come up or a larger family event, and kind of have a little bit of what we call a man cave. So we had about 1,500 square feet of space down here. Based on budget and use, we shrunk that down to about 800 square feet of space. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
Awesome. We'll take a walk around, kind of see the ins and outs of what you did. But we're looking, like you said, with 1,500 square feet. They finished off a bunch of it. They still have storage space as well. What were some of the things you had to look out for when you were finishing this basement?
First off, we need to check and make sure that the basement is dry. That can really affect what space you can finish or what we need to do on the bottom to keep the floor from getting wet. Fortunately for this client, they are completely dry. We could go directly down onto the concrete, which gives you some options. In this situation, they did basically a vinyl snap together, which is completely waterproof, and we don't have to worry about any rot or mold moving forward. If they were going to try to do any sort of wood or carpet, we would have had to shim that up a little bit off the floor. You can easily tile directly onto the concrete as well. It can be a little bit colder unless you add some
Insulation.
Heat the floor.
From a homeowner's perspective, budget-wise, this vinyl snap-together flooring is a little bit cheaper, actually significantly cheaper than some hardwood and things like that. However, the products that they've been coming out with in the past 5 to 10 years, they're amazing. Like, they look fantastic, they're soft, they're warm, they're comfortable. So that was probably a really good choice by them.
Correct. Yeah, that was very good, and your cost of installation is significantly less when you go with a product like this.
So what advantages did you have or disadvantages for this being a newer construction home versus maybe an older home from the 90s or 80s or 90s?
So for the modern home, this situation, we didn't really have any repair work that we had to do. They already had modern insulation. We didn't have to worry about any deterioration in the foundation or in the floor. The concrete was already preset to have a bathroom in the first floor, which was huge. So there's no jackhammering or cutting out of the floor to try to get that out.
Which will add costs there.
Correct. Yeah.
And the other thing I noticed right away, whoever built this home, it seemed like they had planned on finishing the basement or was kept it as an option, because you have full 8-foot ceilings in most places here, 7.5 to 8-foot ceilings, which really open up the space.
Yeah, it's huge. It gave us some options for that. Where you see the lower ceiling is basically covering air ducts and plumbing. It gave us this cool little trade ceiling look. All those little soffits are basically covering the forced hot air or plumbing and stuff like that, which worked out really well and kind of gave it a cool, look.
Perfect. So can you take me quick step by step from you met with the client to where we are right now and what you're going to do next?
Sure. Part of our process is we have an initial meeting with a client, kind of a needs assessment, what they want to use the space for, what their vision is, if they want to do something different than the rest of the house, or we're trying to match the decor of the other house, of the rest of the upstairs. And then from there, we can sit down and decide, do we need to hire an interior designer? Do you have a set of architecture plans that we can work from, or are we just kind of going to go, like in this case, they didn't have plans, didn't need an interior designer. We just kind of walked around and went through the floor space and said, okay, I'd like to have this here, this here, this here. And then, with a little bit of working knowledge, you can kind of say, okay, there's room here for a closet. We could put a bathroom here. Because the bathroom was pre-plumbed in the floor, that's where it was going to go, and this is the shape that we kind of had to figure out. Because we weren't the original builders, it took a little while to kind of see what was their vision. You just have 2 holes in the floor, like where did they think this stuff was going to go?
Yeah.
But with that, it allowed us to create some other new spaces. We tripped over the ability to have, a storage closet, a linen closet as we were framing. We weren't stuck to some, preset design.
So you come in, you have that meeting, you frame out walls, you put flooring down, you insulate it. At this point right now, we're at drywall, finish, electrical. So what's next?
From here, we'll start doing doors and trim, which should be here in the next day or so. And then in this situation, we're going to take a small break and then come back for phase 2. We're going to do a full L bar, wet bar, and some different lighting and seating.
Yeah. Roughly finished basement. Let's round up to 1,000 square feet. What kind of price range is someone looking at to finish a basement?
I guess there's giant variation in there.
But for some of the things that you talked about, older basement, newer basement, what's your insulation? Things
Yeah,
like that?
exactly. If you were going to go between a bad insulation, or you were going to do spray foam, or if you had water issues, if you were going to hire an interior designer, and you had a lot of high-end finishings, if you had a tile bathroom, a tile bar area, if you wanted to go with a fancy carpet, or just some of the design elements were higher, your budget could go up pretty quick. In this case, you can kind of figure it out as you go, where you're at. I would say if you're going to do 1,000 square feet, you could be anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000, depending on what you choose.
Yep, exactly, depending on finishes. So again, on the advantages of a new construction home like this, or this home specifically, what's going on here?
So some of the, another added benefit of this situation, with this being a modern home, is they had the foresight to have an exit or entrance door you can walk in or out on this level. So it kind of removes the need for, it covers our egress issues. So in some homes that don't have any way to get out other than like a bulkhead door, the option of ever putting a bedroom down here or something like that becomes a real issue. In their case, they could easily put another bedroom down here. They do have an egress window and an exit door. So they are in a great situation for expanding the space and getting some real value out of it.
Adding a possible another bedroom. That daylight issue also adds value on the resale portion of it, because that's what people are looking for. People don't like as much of a finished basement where they come down with no egress, no windows, no way to come in and out of the home.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, there are some products out there. There are people cutting holes in the foundation and adding those, but that significantly increases the cost. Yeah.
So wrapping it up here, one of the main reasons we're here is to figure out what kind of value this adds to your home. The biggest thing, without putting dollars and cents on it, this project added, like you said, 800 square feet to a home. So the square footage of finished space alone is adding significant value to this home. You also put in a bathroom, you're putting in a bar, you're putting in extra entertaining space, all things that most buyers are looking for. We're already in a single level ranch that has 3 bedrooms. So that is probably the most desirable property we have for people. And then adding this bonus space, it's really great for families or for that older couple that just has family come visit them. So this project added significant values, and you did a great job consulting your clients for the finishes that they put in. They didn't go crazy, and they did nice enough finishes that it doesn't look cheap, it's added value, it's comfortable, it's great. So thank you for watching. And if you have a home improvement project that you want to consult us on and what your return may be, or if you have a project that you want featured on our video series, just contact us at lakeliferealty.net.